Why the term terrorism is reserved only for Muslims? The term terrorism and Muslims are presented in such a way as if they are inseparable words or as if they are synonyms. But if we define the definition of terrorism and scrutinize the events that may fit to this definition, we would realize that this term is invoked only when the culprits are Muslims. And it names anything but terrorism if they are non-Muslims. Terrorism, as per the Oxford Dictionary, defines that it is unlawful use of violence and intimidation, especially against civilians. But unfortunately, whenever these unlawful use of violence and intimidation is done by non-Muslims, they are termed anything other than terrorism. Sometimes they term it as a mass murderer, as a gunman, as a lone wolf, or a loner, psychopath, or anything but the terrorist, the term terrorist. Recently in Sweden, a man killed 90 people. He indiscriminately started hitting people unless he murdered more than 90 people. And the very next year, the incident of a school shooting happened, where a boy started killing his classmates. The same thing happened in a mall, where a man started killing people indiscriminately. But people define them anything but terrorist, although they very fit to the definition of unlawful use of violence and intimidation. Even in India, the things or acts that has the same definition or that fits to this definition are termed as Naxalites, Bodos, extremists, but never the terrorist unless it was a Muslim. This terminology cannot be a mistake, or this commonality where everyone is having the same definition cannot be just by mistake. There must be a reason behind it. There must be a propaganda. There must be a common understanding with all the people across the lines, across the globe, and this must be approved by the keepers of the present day world order. Which also points us to some sinister revelation, which makes it very clear that there is a special religion which is targeted by all other religions, all other ideologies, all other people. Because you take any conflict in the world today, whatever is the side of one side, the another side has to be a Muslim, has to be a Muslim country, has to be an Islamic issue. If you take any issue happening which has a global importance, you will say that Islam has a role to play. Islam has a reason for it, the things are manipulated, or Islam is being used as a pivot around the issues which are happening out there. All these incidents points us to the fact that something is going around Islam. While some say that the Fourth World War is already in the process, and that Fourth World War after World War I, II, and Cold War is war on terror. But anyone who has the eye on the things would realize that war on terror is in fact the war on Islam and Muslims. And this is the reason that the term terror cannot be used for anyone else except for a Muslim, because this war was launched against Muslims and against Islam. Guise of war on terror. This is it is helpful to understand this by the comment of Samuel H. Huntington, who writes in his book Clash of Civilization, where he says it is only Islam that has put the survival of the West in danger. And this is the reason that the Western ideology, the followers of the capitalism, has taken on itself by saying that the Red Menace has gone and now it is Islam, meaning that now they are targeting Islam at the place of communism, and they want to defeat this ideology by defining them or using propaganda war against them. This we need to understand, although the plan of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is something else. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala rightly said, لَيُرِيدُونَ لِيُطْفِئُوا نُورَ اللَّهِ بِأَفْوَاهِهِمْ وَاللَّهُ مُتِمُّ نُورِهِ وَلَوْ كَرِهَ الْكَافِرُونَ. That they want to extinguish the light of Islam by blowing air from their mouth. But they have their own plans, and Allah has His own plan. It may happen that instead of dousing the fire, they might be providing oxygen for the oxidation of the fire, and Allah says that He will fulfill His nur, the light. Thank you very much for watching this video. Subscribe the Q&A 360, and we try to answer why this term terrorism is only for Muslims, and I think that now it is quite clear. Thank you very much.